Hello, greetings. This is Gilles Mention. I wanted to come briefly today during this time of eclipse. We're not always very lucid during time of eclipse because everything is eclipsed, and so it is an accelerator of a very powerful transit, one of the most powerful astrological transit, and so those effects will continue for like months to come. But today is really time where new energy, new miracles are possible. It is very important to be ready for what we've been asking for. In many sense, I'm here to reveal truth. So the truth cannot be revealed by words, for it is impossible. Truth is infinite. Even if you would know aspect of truth, you cannot reveal it, yet you can find ways to share ideas that will create links into doorways and windows and provide tools by which each and every person can practice, and by practice we eventually achieve understanding. There will be, with these new energies, this new eclipse, there may be very, very powerful disclosure, revelation in the world, yet 99% of the people will be shocked beyond their conceivable mind. For those who've been working in the light, will be more stable. Yet we will all be moved by those things that will be coming out. There's a lot of things that need to be expurged, and so they will start to come out. In many sense, we cannot change who we are, in the sense that we are programmed in a certain way, and we have to accept our program, to love our program, to accept the lower part of ourselves and the higher part of ourselves, to understand that they both work together. It is created by our soul, has designed that program of life for us, so that we can learn from all those things. The idea is to be able to sublimate our positive traits so that they can eventually transcend all negative ones. But in a sense, we have to develop universal love and compassion for the world, and understand that all things come from the love of God. It's not easy to accept the fact that all the high, the low, the good, the bad, the everything comes from the love of God that provides this field of creation, and then soul goes through the process of time and space to experience whatever they choose, and God does not judge them. Yet He knows that He's created a law, that law of cause and effect. Everything that is not aligned with love will be reflected on the soul through many incarnations, until the point the soul understands that it has learned everything it needs to learn from karma, and move back into love, and move back with the desire to return to the source, to return to the heart. And so this is a process that is ongoing, for we are all awakening. I wanted to speak of deep soul connection when it talks about soulmate, soul twins, deep love, deep powerful. For there may be situations that we feel much deeper than others. For everybody is divine, everybody is precious, and our attention is needed for all people. Yet there are people that are more important because we have a deeper connection to them. And in many sense, sometimes it's karmic relation. Those connections are created so that we can heal the situation. All the time it is for a fulfillment. But it's not always easy, because those connections are very subtle, and they require a lot of work to align. In many sense, everything all those things were created by our soul before we came in. We chose those particular life condition, karmic condition. We were born in a culture, born in a family, born in certain circumstances that were perfect for our evolution, and we cannot criticize that. For if we do not appreciate this one life, we will only be able to understand it when we will be able to open our Akash and see it in relation to all of our past life and all of our future life. We'll understand the full meaning of that one life. In many sense, life was created for joy, for enjoyment, for pleasure, for experimentation. Yet some beings have invaded this universe and started to develop this manipulation program of propaganda and mind control, and then to robotize people. And then the humanity was very naive and young, and so they became submerged within this dark matrix. But in many sense, everything is changing. We're really moving into the age of miracle, and I must say that the information I sense, I feel that all heads of states and leaders that are focused on war, brutality and violence will be ejected from their seat of power, for it is God that put kings in place and creates empire and destroy them. For God is God, life does only what he wants to do. There is nobody's going to tell God what to do or tell life what to do. Sometimes life is doing things we do not understand, and so we think life is a random occurrence, but it's not true. It is not. There is always higher reason for all things to happen, and so it is important when that we understand that we have desires, and sometimes our desires are not being fulfilled. The idea is to let go of those desires, which is quite nearly not impossible, but we have to let go. The thing is, we have to know, to understand that once we have a desire, it is recorded within by our soul, and our soul is already looking for a way to bring that into our life. If we let go, we release the desire. It is far much easier for life to bring what we need into our life. Because attachment will create problems in bringing it in. So we have to, because if we release our desire without the trust to know that those things will come in, it can bring us into despair or depression or whatever. But if we have a trust, we can trust to let go and to know that those things will come. Then we can wait with peace and serenity. And to understand that all things will come into our life. It's just a matter of the right time, the right place, and so it happens in the right way. That is something that is harmonious with our higher path. When we choose this path of ascension, we become subject to the flow and guidance of this higher light. We get to understand that everything we do has value, even if we don't see the immediate result of what we do. Every effort we make to perfect our courage, our character, to perfect our lucidity, our meditation, our ability to connect to this light, and our ability to practice compassion, to open our heart, to love more. All those efforts, they may not be bankable, so to speak, but they are very, very real. And every step we make is being recorded and will help us in the next step. So, and we are getting activated for this next step. And so it is important to understand you are masters in the making. We are being prepared to become galactic beings, to become ascended master. But it requires a lot of consciousness, responsibility, facing ourselves, accepting the high and lows of our life without judgment, and progressively overcoming those lower aspects to augment our strengths and to diminish our weaknesses. In many ways, we want to provide a clear vehicle for spirit, for our body, maybe physical now, but it also has a crystalline function when we can become crystallized, at which point it becomes like just a clear crystal. The clear crystal has to be clear, it has to be loved, it has to be pure. And the more pure it is, the more frequency we'll be able to come in, to share and participate. So it is an ongoing effort, and eventually what we seek to understand is we are inside our nest and we need to take our flight. We need to jump out of the nest. For the deep bird wisdom is what taught the master of Atlantis was teaching the wisdom of birds for is the ibis, but many other immortals from the Egyptian civilization were presented with hybridization with birds such as Horus or Ra. And so this deep bird wisdom is really something that we need to acquire. For birds have the ability to fly. They have a superior capacity in relationship to all other animals, and in many sense we have to learn to fly to be able to rediscover this freedom. And so it is a good time for that, and be open to any miracle, be ready, yet do not hold life accountable for your timing. Just be ready, and whenever life thinks it's good, it will bring it into your life. The more you can in the meantime, there is no need to be just to stay focused on those things that make you feel good, and the more you feel good, the less you are in the expectation, and the easier it is for things to happen. Well, the card of the day is the waves of bliss. It is quite marvelous, the waves of bliss. It is really about to surfing on this joy, to let go, to surrender, to appreciate each moment, to be attuned to whatever comes from the heart, and to know that as we focus on love, as we cultivate love becomes much more prominent within ourselves. For there is this universal love, and then there is like physical love, and there is all kinds of love, but love is love, and there's just different octaves and frequency of it. For all is, in essence, love is the true essence of the soul, and the essence of light, and so there is really nothing else at the end. We'll come to know that, and we'll come to recognize ourselves as such. Well, I hope this message was interesting for you. I'm going to sing a very short song at the beginning of it. It's called Amazing Grace. voice. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. I thank you very much. I wish you much grace and wonderful times in this coming time, which will be ready to. Many things are ready to unfold. So let us await those times with great anticipation and move into the new flow as they present themselves. Thank you very much. Namaste.